Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Hammer. Today is Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025. There we go. That's putting a lot of light on that. There we are. So, anyway, good morning, y'all. Appreciate you being here. Remember, I am here with your daily mortgage rate update. You can join me live each and every weekday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Coming to you on Facebook and YouTube, broadcasting from the Great Smoky Mountains, where it's awfully chilly this morning. I moved to the south because I figured, hey, I want to be able to ride my motorcycle year round. Now, I knew I was moving into the mountains. I knew it got colder here, which I enjoy. All right. However, I didn't think I was going to get like winter New Jersey, Michigan, New Hampshire type weather as we've gotten this year. It's been a cold winter. It's been not a lot of snow, but a consistent snow, and the snow's not melting because it's not getting warm. It's 2 degrees this morning. I am burning through propane with my fancy new furnace, although it does keep the house warm, and I'm very grateful to have a warm roof over my head. So anyway, if you're here this morning, say good morning. If you're watching on the replay, don't forget in the comments to just put hashtag replay. Let me know that you were here. Also, post any of your questions or comments. I do look at them through the day. Appreciate you doing that. Don't forget to smash that like button. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and click that thumbs up, maybe tag an originator or share this post in a group. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, give it that little thumbs up icon as well, and make a couple of comments. All that helps the algorithm, helps us get out there and be seen by more people. So I appreciate you doing that. Let's see who we got here this morning. And question of the day is, how cold is it by you? How cold is it? How cold is it by you? We have seen some really, really frigid temperatures. So the question of the day, how cold is it by you? Let me know. I am curious. Let me pop that up there. So good morning, Megan Lindberg. Thank you for joining me. James Mahan, good morning, sir. Mallory Fotiadis, great to see you. Amy Blauser says, it's been cold here too. Amy, whereabouts are you again? Let me know in the comments. Mallory, there is snow in Florida. I saw that on Facebook. 6 inches of snow. That is crazy. Absolutely crazy. I would think that this time of year I would be going to Florida to stay warm, and people in Florida are getting snow. That is just, the world's a changing place. Megan Lindberg, 9 degrees was the low last night. Our low was actually in the negatives. We had like -2. Nathan Einkorn, -11 degrees. I know you're out in Colorado, and all I can tell you is, dude, it would probably be warmer in Costa Rica right now. I saw you outdoors, Nathan, doing your workout. Are you doing the 75 hard again, or were you just out there busting your hump? I saw you had frozen beard syndrome, FBS, which I get myself. Good morning, Mike Steele. Great to have you here. Ron Siegel, good morning, sir. National Blonde Brownie Day. I agree with you. Any brownie works for me as well. Love that sugar. Love brownies. But how cold is it by you over in California, Ron? Are you guys getting any cold weather on the West Coast? Diana Dixon, good morning. 25 degrees in San Antonio with some snow. Shut down your city. Yeah, I read Houston didn't even have any plows, so that's a big deal for them. Mike Steele in the low 60s. You are freezing. Where are you, Mike? I should have put that in there too. How cold is it by you, and where are you at? Where are you at? I should put that in here. So in the Smoky Mountains this morning, it is a whopping like 2 or 3 degrees at the moment. So Nathan, just 11 degrees and just a regular workout. Better FBS than IBS. Yes, I do agree. James Mahan, it's 20 in Northwest Arkansas. Yes, I love saying Arkansas. Man, that is chilly weather though. Chilly. Mike Steele's in Southwest Florida. Yeah, so you've got the northern end of Florida there. It shows you how that polar vortex there came in. One side of Florida has 6 inches of snow. The other side is still 60 degrees. Mallory Fotiadis in Niceville, Florida. North Cal Bay Area, 38 degrees out there in California. So yeah, that's cold. All right, well, let's get to the good stuff, y'all, and we'll go from there. So let's share the screen. All right. So this morning, let's do a quick recap and show you what happened yesterday. You'll see with this line chart that I'm showing you here, this is the UMBS, Universal Mortgage Backed Security 6.0 coupon. It's the most relevant coupon to be watching right now. It doesn't matter whether you watch the 5.5, the 6.0, the 6.5. It really doesn't. They're all going to be very similar, but the 6.0's got the trading volume, and for rate sheets, it's very, basically is the one that most lenders are selling into. So it is currently at 100.50 and it's up 6 basis points on the day. However, yesterday when pricing came out, we were around the same level, 100.49, 100.50. See that here as I highlight that on the chart? Everything between this dotted line and this dotted line, this here is yesterday. Most lenders tend to start setting pricing between 9:30 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. So you're finding that mortgage bonds were very much in the same range. What that means is that today rate sheets are going to be basically unchanged. When you take a look at mortgage pricing, you're going to find we haven't really seen rates move in the last couple of days. They were on the 16th, which was last Thursday. They were 7.07 using Mortgage News Daily as a reference point. Then on Friday, 7.08. Now on Friday, we saw mortgage bonds. You see it here. They kind of lost ground. So they came out right around 100.45, 100.48, same area we're at now, but they ended the day around 100.31. That wasn't enough to really cause many lenders to reprice worse, though, on Friday. So when we did recover that, you see here on Tuesday, remember we had the long holiday weekend, so markets are closed on Monday for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. All right. However, on Tuesday, they did open again and they were right about that same level. So what you saw is that, rate sheets yesterday were about the same, 7.08 and 7.08 yesterday. Here, there'll be 7.08 this morning as well. Very similar to what we have seen. Now, reprice risk on the day is moderate. It's not likely that we have to worry too much about things moving. There's quite a bit of calm. However, everything that we see is going to revolve around the new administration and a lot of concern over the tariffs and, whatever speculation there is, talk of tariffs, things like that. So let's see. Let's go ahead and adjust this here. Specific, like Trump delivers fresh tariff threats against EU and China of 10%. Sorry. So Donald Trump on Tuesday vowed to hit the European Union with tariffs and said his administration was discussing a 10% punitive duty, which is a little bit different. It's a tax. It's a little bit different than a tariff on Chinese imports because fentanyl is being sent from China to the US via Mexico and Canada. So again, I want to really throw this out there. We're going to talk about the new administration quite a bit. Political opinions really don't matter here. We can discuss them like adults and not necessarily agree with everything that's done. I do like some of Trump's policies and his administration policies, and there's some things that really make me scratch my head on. So, but this one, it's not whether we agree or disagree necessarily, but what kind of an effect is that having on mortgage rates, right? So right now, it seems like there's a lot of calm before the storm because markets are basically doing better. You can see it here. We've kind of leveled off. All right. Do you see that here? So right now, what's affecting rates is the new administration and specifically any of the tariff talks. When we see less concern about tariffs, when we see less markets are not as concerned about it, then we see things improve a little bit. That's why we've kind of held steady here. Markets weren't quite sure what Trump was going to come in guns blazing, and he has gone in guns blazing, but we haven't seen the tariffs at 25% across the board hitting everybody like necessarily what was originally forecast and what was originally said. So this week, rates are really being affected by what's going on in the White House. All right. All of that has a lot to do with what's going on with your mortgage rates. Next week, it's going to revolve more around what happens with the Fed meeting and where we think the Fed is going next. So keep that in mind. Now, the outlook here is I think we're going to continue to see things kind of hold steady. Although mortgage-backed securities, they actually have room to move up to 100.65. I showed you this on the chart yesterday, that we can go ahead and let's click advanced chart and see what that brings up for us here. So let's make this, there we go, much bigger. And hold on, I think if I press this, it'll, nope. All right. Well, let me pull the bottom up a little bit so you guys can see this. There we go. Let me make this a little smaller. All right. Hold on, I'm trying to adjust the page. There we go. Okay, so taking a look here, I mean, we can draw a line. I hate blue. I don't know why it does it in blue. Oops. Right here, it's at 100.64. It doesn't matter, 100.64, 100.65. We're basically at that same level right here, watching mortgage-backed securities. But you can see that we seem to have kind of gotten this ceiling right here at 100.50. That seems to be kind of an area that we've hit a bit of a ceiling here. You'll notice that on Friday, mortgage-backed securities started the day higher when you see a red candlestick like this and lost ground for the day. Closed on Monday. Tuesday, we started at that same level again, just lost a little bit of ground. This morning, we started a little bit lower and have gone up and are testing that. We were up above it. That's what the little wick is. It shows that each of those days, mortgage-backed securities moved above that level, but yet ended below that level. So we're going to keep an eye on this. And those technicals are kind of calling into play. And again, that's left us with a very flat rate sheet. Rates haven't really moved much. Neither has pricing even. It's been very flat on that. We're seeing that same thing. If we go ahead and take a look at the 10-year Treasury, and let's move this for 1 month, and you can see it's that same thing here too. We came back down, and now we're leveling back off. You see it really well in that 6-month chart. See it? We dropped down, and then it's kind of flattened, right? It looks like a hockey stick. So we're going to keep an eye on this. 10-year Treasury yield has room to drop down to that 100-day or 50-day moving average around 4.46, which would be 12 basis points lower than where it's at now. That would mean rates would improve a little bit, more pricing than rates. So we do have some room in the technicals for things to move down. However, the expectation is that things will kind of remain where they're at. Now, next week, we have the Fed meeting on Wednesday. And that puts us in a position where, generally the advice right now is to go ahead and cautiously float and see where things go. I mean, it's very likely that we see a kind of a calm before the storm here. What would move this is if anything big happens inside of this, this area. If we see something with tariffs, if we see something with some kind of tax talk, something that would rile up markets. Traders have shown that they are very influenceable right now. They definitely are, they're on edge. They're acting quickly with knee-jerk reactions to things. It's been a little bit to our benefit here to see mortgage-backed securities improve. But it's unlikely that we necessarily will see much further improvement from here. Very unlikely that rates are going to improve much. So I'm going to say that the outlook remains that rates will not move much until the Fed meeting. And where rates go next is very much up for debate. It's, when we get to that Fed meeting, the current expectation is we will see no movement in January. The Fed will pause on rate cuts. The question is, are we going to see something like what Governor Waller said, where we're going to see more rate cuts, or like everybody else keeps saying, where there's going to be less? Now, markets are betting that there's about a 25% chance that we'll see a rate cut at the March meeting. At this next meeting, if we see this number increase and we see markets grow more optimistic that we'll see rate cuts as soon as March or in May even, right? If we see more optimism of rate cuts, that'll help mortgage bonds to improve a little bit. If we do not, if it stays flat, we'll see things kind of stay flat. And if the Fed gives a very hawkish press conference and statement where that it looks like, hey, we're not going to see any rate cuts, maybe even until June, that's going to be a big deal. Right now, markets are pricing in a rate cut by June, by the June meeting. You can see there's only a one third of a chance and probability that rates will remain where they are. Again, it's going to depend on labor market data. It's going to depend on economic data, inflation data. Now, the PC inflation report comes on Friday after the Fed meeting. So we'll see a small reaction to it, but not a big reaction to it. Most likely based on what happens at the Fed meeting. So, all right, my friends. Well, I mean, that's it. Again, if you're looking for rates, the conversation these days really has to go down to saying to your consumers, hey, where do you think things are going to go? And why do you want to buy a house anyway? We know that there's going to be continued slight increases in inventory until the market gets going. It's cold. That's going to slow things down, but the potential is there for a strong spring market. The longer that these rates hold steady, the more that people will come to accept them. The problem is can they afford them? And that's what you're really out there looking at these days, is looking at affordability. It is hard to buy a house. I honestly don't think that we're going to see much change in that. When you go back and look at history over the last 100 years and 500 years and 1,000 years, what we've grown used to as normal is a very small window. And I believe that the 60s, the 70s into the 80s, they were probably the heyday for the middle class. And the middle class is the home ownership. I think what's going to happen is the middle class is going to struggle as we head into the 20s and 25 and 30s. And I don't think that it's going to get any easier to buy a house. I think people are going to have to they're going to have to, kind of continue on. What I do think will change, though, when the time comes, and we're not there yet, I think you'll see longer mortgages. I think you'll see 40-year mortgages instead of 30-year mortgages. When it makes Wall Street money, when Wall Street is, if the housing industry continues at this pace, because remember, mortgage originators, we all feel it, right? Like we see it in our end, but when it's hitting Wall Street, that's when it will change, and you'll see longer term mortgages. Same thing happened to cars, and it's the same thing that happens with anything. Student loans, once you have availability of credit and softer and looser credit terms, it allows prices to go up. And what we've seen prices already going up, and there's still enough demand. But if we start to see too much supply and we don't see prices come down to meet that demand, to recover that demand, you will see 40-year mortgage terms. And remember, FHA started it a little bit, but wasn't a thing. You will see when Fannie and Freddie go to 40-year mortgages, it'll drop payments and increase affordability, and the housing market will heat up. It's too early for that to happen. If the housing market were to heat up now, it would just drive prices up, and we would be in the same boat that we're in. We're going to hopefully need to see some balance to that when it happens. Let me know in the comments, do you think we're going to see 40-year mortgages in the next couple of years? I would love to know what you guys have to say on it. Heidi said the loan store has 40-year for primary. Yeah, so it's already one lender that's got it. Good morning, Mr. Randy Teakle with the Red Dawn Golden Retrievers. You're signed in under that one. Julie Lawrence, good morning. Harry Dennis, Dan Crowley, Alicia Bowles, good morning. So also the question of the day, if you didn't answer that, we'll have some fun. We'll talk about that now. The question today is, how cold is it by you and where are you at? Where do you live? So Rob Stewart, Louisiana, 9 to 10 inches of snow yesterday, the most in 130 years. You know what, Rob? What's crazy is we snowmobile every year in February, some friends of mine and myself and my son, and you generally go to Wisconsin, and Wisconsin has not had snow. Louisiana has snow. Wisconsin does not have snow. How crazy is that? Glenn Boussard, 33 in the desert over in Arizona. That is nuts, man. Lee in Fort Thomas, Kentucky, 3 degrees. Yeah, we're in very similar out here. Ron Siegel's rubbing it in. Supposed to be 80 in Southern California. Yeah, y'all are still dealing with fires. That is terrible. Louisville is a refreshing 5 degrees. Yeah, it's definitely chilly. Adam Carts, where are you, dude? Minus 20 yesterday. Where is that? That is nuts. Oh, Central Wisconsin. All right. Yeah, and it's too cold to snow now. That's the problem, right? They have not opened the snowmobile trails in Oneida County, where we generally go up by Rhinelander, and we're not going there this year. This year we're going actually up at Tagwati in Jackson Hole because they have a lot of snow, and the last couple of years we haven't been able to snowmobile. That is crazy though, super cold. North Texas at 28 degrees, 5 degrees in Louisville, Kentucky. Still have snow on the ground. Yeah, I mean, so do we. It's crazy. Yeah, dude, that is cold, y'all. That is cold. So, all right, my friends, I'm going to wrap it up. It was been wonderful having you here today. Thank you for joining me. Remember, you can join me live each and every weekday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. If you'd like a text reminder that I'm going live, check us out at hmmr.io/reminder. If you'd like to sign up to get a written email to your inbox each and every weekday morning, that already went out. You're free to use it any way you can. You're free to take it, feed it into Chat GPT, and use it to send out to consumers like Ron Siegel does. You do anything. If my stuff helps you, that's why I share it, and I share it for free. You can sign up at ratelockadvice.com or use this cool QR code right over here. Also, if you'd like to sign up for text alerts, www.ratetextalerts.com. Check them out and sign up for that cool QR code here. Last but not least, check out originatorssuccess.com. I do want to be clear though, right? I've done the last few years, I've really worked hard building that Originator Success brand. We're going to be launching some new products this year to really kind of, fan everything out. Although Originator Success still one that will help you get business. I'm gonna start talking about our grab and go social soon. We're working on rolling that out for February, and that is a social media program where it's done for you, done with you, and coaching. It's going to really encompass everything that you need to get out there and get loans on social media. So Originator Success focuses on, building your brand, generating reviews, providing you with a website. By the way, the new website template is looking fantastic. Here, let me show it to you. I'll show it to you tomorrow. We're already 22 minutes in. But anyway, we'll be talking about the new products. So Chris Dickerson, thank you, sir, for tagging in LO. Brad J and Brad Dixon, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. So, all right, my friends, I'm going to wrap it up. I'll see y'all tomorrow. You guys have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.